Is it possible to create a successful anonymous metal album? Or is it based off of luck? Well, for 500 days, I risked everything, testing different viral strategies, attempting crazy challenges, and building a band on my own from scratch to see if I could achieve 100,000 streams and prove that it's not luck. And in this video, I'm going to show you how I created every song and released the craziest project I've ever made. And it all started with this idea. Let's just put some cymbalage in. Boom, boom, beanie, boom, boom. Right, this is the most basic drum beat ever, but it's enough to get us started. As we progress through the idea, we will refine it further. And now that I had some drums down, I could move on to tracking some guitars where I could really flesh out the idea. Let's get the old girl out. There he is, Paul. It's definitely a she, but her name is Paul. What about if we make it? Digga 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 dead. Ooh, a little bit naughty that. Let's listen. Do like a bit of a pinch harmonic every now and then if we can find the right one. Let's see if that works. That was pretty gnarly. Let's try again. Come on. So let's get on Splice and see if we can find a nice little sample. See what we can. So we're going to change that sample. So I'm going to duplicate those tracks, move them down, and then I'm going to put a chopper on those so that the audio that it plays will be manipulated into whatever speed I want it to be. It still gets me, that fucking squeal every time. I don't really have one set way that I write music. It can be a little bit different each time around. This time in particular, I had some vocal ideas in mind as I was writing. So I just decided to get those vocal ideas tracked while I had them in my head. And I was feeling particularly vocal, shall we say. Let's do some vocals. This is gonna be funny. So in order to do this, I'm gonna have to take this microphone off the stand. I prefer doing vocals with the microphone in my hands, so apologies if this is making any noise for you. But I've got to twizzle my nizzle. We're also going to have to sort out the levels as well, because I'll be very loud right now. Oh, yes. I want like a nasty little one-liner that's going to break you straight into the drop. And then on the second half round, I'm going to come in with some screams as well. Always have a pad when you're doing vocals, because you never know what lyrics you're going to sing, so you need to get them written down, boys. My mind is a sieve. Things just slip straight through it. I fancy doing some screams on the chug beat, so it's dirt, 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 dirt. I'll fucking do it myself! What about, I'll fucking do it alone? Let's do that. I'll fucking do it alone! I'll fucking do it alone! I'll fucking do it alone! Okay, we're getting somewhere with the lyrics. So we've got, I'll fucking do it alone. We've tracked that. One word, forward. It's the only way I know I won't ever let myself go back there again. And then I need the last line. What about din 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 da dun? Could be this is my new life. Oh, it's time to reincarnate. Oh my god. It's time to reincarnate. It's time to
Sometimes I can finish a song in a day, and then other times it can literally take months to complete. But it was clear that this song was going to take a little bit of time. Probably quite a few writing sessions.
That's how I work things out. So here's a little trick for you. If you can't be bothered figuring out where to put your bass notes, copy the drum MIDI into the bass grid and then just delete everything except the kick. And usually you'll be halfway there. One of my main things is that you've got to try things and then listen back to it and then decide after that. And then if it's not right, it's not right. But there's nothing wrong with trying and seeing what you come up with. This could be really interesting. That's pretty boring at the moment. Like, it's just one note, so maybe we'll change that one note. Something like diggity diggity diggity. Something like that. Diggity diggity diggity. That's really hard to hit. That was a good take. Oh, now I've had an idea. We'll do that technique where if you play the same pattern, just one fret higher than where you would normally play it, and then pan them left and right, both takes. Sounds demonic. So let's see what that sounds like. That's actually harder to hit. In fact, yeah, I could play them one fret lower because it will give the same effect. Perfection. Let's listen to how that sounds. I bet this sounds evil. Yeah.
And I kept on going, sprinkling in a little bit of vocals here and there, until I encountered a problem. I'd just written this section that I really liked, but I could not for the life of me figure out vocals for that section.
Give myself some wire to work with. Come on. It's wrapped around. A bit more. Sometimes you just need a bit more length. You know what I'm saying? Because this section is so polyrhythmic and fucking crazy, I can't figure out what to do with the vocals. It's really difficult. I know it's in 4/4, but I'm struggling to keep count with as a vocalist, and I don't know how that's even fucking possible. This is difficult. Maybe I should try using the vocals to be the driving rhythm and then just let the polyrhythmic sort of patterns sit in the background. So we are in 4/4, so why don't we try try and drive a 4/4 vocal pattern. My way, run the highway. If you wanna stay, but you know that you need to change your ways.
Now that I'd managed to figure out the vocals for the verse, it was time to move on to the most important part of the song, the chorus. I'm definitely thinking some sort of lead line to start off the chorus, so it's something like oh yes, right. That's kind of like the lead line that I'm thinking. Sometimes it's better to just put something down and then add some more elements to it and then go back to those parts and maybe change them. So now what we need to do is put in some drums to match that with the sound that I'm hearing. Then I'm hearing like a boom ba, so it comes in on the last couple of notes on that round. And now I'm feeling like a crash heavy. We're going to ride on that crash. We're going to go. That's it. That's it. That is it. Oh, I've done it a bloody again, haven't I? Oh, twat. Well, to be fair, the first half is perfection, so I can just copy that. And fade it together because I carried it on. Fucking lovely. Let's do it again on the other side. Same again, fucked it up, but it's fine because we got far enough into the second take that we can do a bit of fadage. Maybe we could actually play the extended chord if we can play it. Yeah, let's try that. Perfection. I think it's solid enough now to lay down some vocals on top of it. Now, obviously, the vocal melody and the lyrics are pretty much the most important part about writing any chorus. The lyrics and the melody work together to create a hook that you won't forget. It's the part of the song that you remember. So it's got to be really pleasant to listen to, really easy to understand, and just catchy. That's what I look for in a chorus melody. It's just catchy melody and then words to suit. Like, that's what I'm looking for. So let's try brainstorming a melody for this. Testing the microphone. Don't know, I've gone old Jason Derulo on you. The most important part of my vocal process. The old pad. Because I can't do any vocals without the pad because I forget what I've sung. So the first, fucking hell, I'm tired. So what note are we going to hit first? There's so many notes we could hit. Because the thing is, so far in the song, it's just been screams only. There's been no cleans in this. But we're going to have a nice clean chorus for this. One method that I like to use to try and latch onto a vocal melody is I will loop it round and literally just sing notes in the key, experiment with changing the positions, the lengths, and just hum any old fucking bollocks that you want. Literally any words. It doesn't matter about the words right now. We're looking for a nice, catchy melody. In your hands, it's in your hands, it's in your mind. This all in your hands. It's all in one. Set it aside. See sunlight shine. Keep your head down. Just alright, so keep your head down. Let's try that. So what I've got an idea of doing now, I'm going to have a call and response between clean vocal and scream vocal. Fucking scream vocal? Anyway, so it's going to go da-na-na-na, and that's kind of what we're going to go for. Keep your head down. I'm thinking some sort of like a little bit of fry onto the voice. Like a little tiny bit. Let's see how this sounds. Keep your head down. Not sure on that last one. You can do it alone. You can do it alone. You can do it alone. I quite like that one, but it's very sleep tokeny. You can do it alone. That was pretty good. That wasn't even that out of tune. Now that the chorus idea was tracked, all that was left to do was finish the rest of the song. But little did I know that this was actually just the beginning. I still had to figure out what I was going to do for the artwork, for the music video, and for the content, and how I'm going to do all of those things without showing my face. The end of the chorus is but I need to make it sound better than that. Not complete fucking shit. So there are some chinas for you, because we know that we want this to be on the china. Now I'm going to put the kicks in where I hear the down notes. What I'm doing is I'm punching in the basic notes so that I can decide where things are going to be. So these chugs, I'm going to decide where they are going to be placed. And then once I've got the basic beat down, I can work on refining that beat, making it more complex and interesting. Because nobody likes a boring riff, do they? Do you know what we'll do? We'll put some guitars in, and then I'll be able to hear in its entirety, and I'll know when I want extra layers to come into the idea. So let's get Paul out. Paulette. The most important woman in my life. Apart from my mum. So the idea that I've got is we're going to hit the chugs on the downbeats where the bass notes are, and then in between we're going to fill it with different things. So we're going to fill it with like a sample, maybe one round, and then maybe we'll go back to the rotary guitar with loads of distortion on and create like a little lick to fill it with there as well. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to layer these guitars with 2 more takes on the lower octave to get it extra juicy and thick. Right, so immediately I realised I've done this wrong. So I'm going to change that first section. I don't really like it, so I want it to go boom, boom, boom. So that's kind of what I had in mind for the guitars. So let's listen to that. So we've got a few of the down chugs there, but it sounds pretty empty on its own, so we need to fill those gaps. Oh, that could be fucking cool. Oh my fucking god. Yeah, that's it. I found it. Dum 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 dum. 4, 3, 2, 1. Can't beat that fucking. Right, we're going to go even more half time now after this. I don't even know how that's possible, but we're going to go slower. I think I've got a solution to the pad going walkies, right? What I need is multiple pads. I just need like pads everywhere, so that way I always have one available at any one time. We're going to sort out the levels for the microphone before we start singing. I can definitely hear me screaming and also using the filtered voice in this section to make it very eerie and cool and mysterious. Or maybe I'm just a fucking loser. But what have we sung about so far? We've sung about shit. Whatever it is, it's fucking deep. Because that's the only thing I sing about. Deep things. Right. Keep your head down. No one's watching. Keep your head down. You can do it alone. My way, the highway. If you want to stay in the same fucking place that you've always been. Blah, blah, blah. Yes. Okay. Right. I've got the vibe. I fucking no idea how to fucking start this. In time, you'll see that you have paid the price. In time! In time! You'll see! Oh, fucking hell. In time! In time! You'll see that you have paid the price! You'll see that you have paid the price to live in peace. To live inside of your mind!
Holy fuck, that was a fucking big one.
And after well over 100 hours working on this song, it was finally done. And it was time to move on to the next problem that I needed to solve, the artwork. I decided to call this project Reverie. I liked the idea of Reverie being an animated music project because I've always really been into art and anime, and it just kind of felt right to merge both of my passions together. And I'm not the best artist in the world, but I've got some drawing skills, and I was really hoping that I could use those to my advantage and hopefully use them to create this faceless artist. So I got to work drawing an album cover. So I know that looks like absolute dog shit, right? But basically that's like my rough draft where I kind of just place the rough elements where I think they're going to be. Then what I'll do is like create another layer on top of that and then go over it, and then that's the kind of process that I'll do. I'll just keep going over and over and over, sharpening the detail up every time until I get something that looks half decent, I guess. The idea for Reverie was that there was going to be a recurring character throughout all of the songs and all of the artwork, and her name is Reverie. The theme behind the artwork is that she is haunted by these creatures that kind of manifest themselves from all of her problems in her life and the traumas that she's been through, kind of the themes of each song. Nice and happy, right? But as I was drawing this album cover, I came into a bit of a problem in that my drawings were just complete shit. I'm quite rusty right now. It's been a fucking while since I've had to draw, so hopefully it'll turn out alright. But I just kept going and kept going over the sketch and practicing until I ended up with something that I was quite happy with. And now that I had this kind of finished album cover, I needed to figure out a way to turn that into a music video. Now, originally I had this idea to create an animated music video, kind of like an anime, which would have been really sick, to be honest. But once I got all set up and had a go, I realized that if I wanted to do that, it'd probably take me like a year of my life. Creating animations is not easy, and it takes a long time. So obviously that wasn't going to work. So I needed to go back to the drawing board. And then I thought, like, what about a motion graphic? You know, like those lyric videos you see sometimes where stuff's moving all about the place. I reckon I could do that. So I got to work. I just jumped in the deep end. I had loads of new skills that I had to learn to do this. I had to learn keyframe animation, new editing techniques, literally how to use After Effects, which I've never used before, which was an absolute pain in my arse. And after about 28 to 30 hours of work, I'd finished something that I could be proud of. Not the best thing you've ever seen in the world, but you know, I was pretty happy with it considering I did it on my own. And then the only thing left to do was to create some content for socials. I was actually able to use the music video that I'd created and kind of chop it and resize it and split it into different sections. So that got me a lot of content. The other thing I did was I actually made an animation, which is hilarious because the whole animation is 1 second long and it took me 14 hours to do this. But then I also had this animated clip of Reverie that I could use to create content with. And I ended up making around 14 pieces of content, which was one a day, every day for 2 weeks, which I was going to post across all the different social platforms, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, Reels. And I'm hoping that will be enough to get some eyeballs on the music, or earballs. Not earballs. Anyway, after about 150 hours probably of total work, writing the song, mixing the song, making the artwork, making the music video, making all the short form content, the project was finally finished. And then all I had to do was release it and hopefully see the results of my hard work. So it's officially been 2 weeks today since I released the tune. And I think even if I can just impact one person with my music, then that's kind of enough for me. And at the end of the day, I write it for me anyway, because I enjoy doing it. I guess it's time to see if we manage to hit our goal or not. So let's head over to Spotify. So we'll find Reverie. And in 2 weeks, with all that effort and all those hours put in, we managed 14 monthly listeners.
But even though I didn't manage to hit the goal with just one song,
I couldn't have imagined what happened next. I decided to increase the difficulty and entered myself into Battle of the Bands. All of the best rock and metal bands are competing in this legendary event to see who can win the chance to perform at the world famous Warped Tour. And I'm going to enter too. Only I don't have a band. Am I going to let that stop me? No, because I have a plan. I'm going to need to write a banger song, record a killer music video, and then submit all of that to the competition. But there's a problem. Submissions due by May 2nd. 14 days remaining. The Ernie Ball Battle of the Bands gives unsigned bands the ultimate opportunity. 6 bands will compete for the chance of $100,000 in prizes. To enter, bands must create a profile, upload a video of their original music, and rally fan support through voting. I've only got 14 days to do this. Right. So with the clock ticking, I needed to come up with a good song idea. So I've got to write a banger, and it all starts with an idea, and I've got one. Oh, I've got one. How are we going to turn that into something worthy of winning Battle of the Bands? Well, we've got an idea for the rhythm of the riff, so I'm going to jump in and start programming some drums for this. Yeah. Left crash, right crash, both crashes choke. Didn't it? Oh yeah. And we're going to hit the fucking floor tom. Dun-dun-dun. I can at least put the bass notes in because they're going to match where the drums are going to slam down. Dun, 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 dun. I mean, the drums aren't perfect there, but I can always fix them when the other instruments are in. I don't know. See, this is where I'm struggling because I don't know where I want the next bit to go. Let's have a think. Ah! Whoa. People always ask me, Johnny, how do you write such blasting drum beats? Well, I'm going to let you in on the secret. Just give me a sec. The secret to my success. Oh, yeah. Oh. Right, let's fucking do this. It's not quite there, but it's not quite that far away, if that makes any sense whatsoever. By the end of the first writing session, it had become apparent to me that it's going to take a while for me to get this song right, so I needed to come up with an idea to help me save time as I'm writing the song. So because I'm against the timer here, I'm recording the actual takes as I write the song. I've only got, 13 days left now. I need to try and save a bit of time where I can, so I'm basically going to record polished takes, or as polished as I can get them. And then I'm going to fade out my tails and everything like that on the go, because we haven't got time for messing around. I'm so ready to track that. Christ on a bike. So what I've just found there with my playing is I'm getting the palm muted sound that I'm looking for, but the notes are too long. So the way I'm going to counteract that, just for all you guitar players out there, is literally moving my palm slightly further up. Because as you move your palm further up, you get more of a tighter sound. So if you'll probably recognize the genty sound. It's kind of what I'm going for, so I'm going to take that again. If I can remember how to play the fucking riff. Right, now I need to get a fucking blaster take for the main bit. Sometimes I'll write guitar, bass and drums all the way through and basically complete the song. And other times I kind of hear what I want in every section as I'm going through it. So like for example, this time I'm hearing some samples over the second half of that riff, some sort of percussive sort of sample. So I might actually try and find that and include that here before we move on writing the rest of the song. There's no correct way of doing things. You just got to follow your intuition and have a play around, because at the end of the day, everybody's different and you'll find what works for you as you go. Here we go. So we're going to drag it into the effects column, and this is what we've got. Now what I'm going to do is play around with it, because there's quite a few bassy notes in there which I don't like. That could be an interesting loop. Let's see if it works with the beat. Right, so I've changed that sample there. I've literally just chopped it up and reorganized the sample so that I feel like the parts that hit suit the drum pattern better. Let's have a reverse snare into that. And a riser. You can't beat a reverse snare plus any riser, or if you don't have like a riser, get a cymbal crash and then reverse it and fade it back in. That's kind of like the same thing. We're starting to sound pretty fucking big now. Where's my good old percussive ticking noise? We also need to reduce the volume of that all the way down. Put a shaker behind your beats. Oh, absolute fatty unlock. That's sounding sick already. I was making decent progress, but I did need to get a move on because I still had vocals to track and a music video to create all before the deadline. A lot of the time I have an idea in my head already of where the song's going, and I'll tend to program in the drums as I hear them in my head, and then I'll punch in a few bass notes sort of where I hear them, and then I'll go back to the guitar and figure out what to play over the top of both of them. This is the drum beat that I've come up with for the verse, and it's a really weird one to be honest, but it sounds pretty interesting. I've got quite an interesting idea for this section, so let's punch in some bass notes for this. Something like that. I'm going to leave that bit blank. So sometimes I can't actually think of what to write, but I know roughly what's going to go there. Some sort of guitar run. So I'll just blank it out and then I'll write it on the guitar and then fill the bass in later. And then we've got this insane, same riff, but absolutely insanely low, the ride, crash heavy fucking shit. Right, let's have a play around on the guitar now. So let's loop that section around and see if I can work out what the fuck to play, baby. Ooh, that's a fucking nice one. That touches my soul. Well, I'm not going to hit that anytime soon, so... Oh, I'm sweating. The problem with writing riffs on a MIDI bass is that you write impossible riffs that you can't physically play because you're not good enough. And then you sit down behind the guitar and you realise, I am properly shit. Do you know what? I've been doing all this whole time, trying to fucking nail this take. I've just realised my DIs aren't even recording. Always check your inputs, gentlemen. I know I can do it. Oh my god. Fucking hell. Some sort of fucking synth or strings. So I actually don't know how to play strings or anything like that. I just go totally off what I hear in my head and using my ears to pick the right notes out. That's just how I do it. I think sometimes the best way to learn things is just experiment with them and play around with them. Cool. Is there anything else that I can add there? Maybe like an arpeggio? Oh, that could be quite cool. It does contest with the guitar a little bit, but if I lower it just enough, maybe it sits right. Let's have a listen to it. And over the next few days, I carried on writing and got somewhere that I was pretty happy with in terms of the instruments, and it was time to move on to writing and recording some vocals. Right, so we're nearing the end of the first week and we need to get the vocals done. The song's pretty much done instrumentally, I just need to sort the vocals out now. I reckon if I can bang it out in a day, maybe 2 days maybe, because I'm going to need to do some clean vocals and I'm definitely going to need to do some scream vocals as well. But I think first I'm going to get the cleans down and we'll see what we can come up with. So for the harmonies, get it solid in my mind, in my mind's ear. Sometimes I want to fade away. Sometimes I want to fade away. Oh, a bit of a fucking hot beverage. Get the old juices flowing. Take control of your own mind. See the truth with your own eyes. Leave the haunted behind. One of the most important things any vocalist could invest in is a solid pad or some sort of note-taking device. Find yourself a nice, fresh page, ready to write some words down. But you know what? I've got a fucking pen. And obviously my delightful voice was just too much for my PC, because shortly after I found a pen, my PC decided to crash and corrupt all of my third-party plugins, which meant that I had to spend a day repairing my computer so that I could carry on doing some vocals, which was an absolute bastard. Anyway, once that was all fixed, I moved on to doing some scream vocals. So immediately, the first scream that I hear is like a that is not what I hear. It's like a really high but very reverby scream. So we're going to try and track something that's somewhere around the note that I want to hit with the scream, and then I'm going to apply some effects to it and see if I can get it to sound how I'm imagining it in my head. So it wants to go onto a separate track of its own. It's not going to be on the main scream track, so I'll just duplicate that across. Basically what we're going to do is drown it in reverb. I think it's going to need a delay as well, so it needs to go ow, 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 ow. So we're going to try that. Ow, 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 ow. So you can play around with things like, for example, what I just did there is I changed the order around on the signal chain. So I put the reverb first before the delay, just to see how it sounds, to see if I achieve the sound that I'm going for. And then I'll try again, maybe changing it around again. I think it is a delay into the reverb. So now we give that a listen in context. That's a fucking solid first scream of the song. Another day of abuse! And this is what we're sounding like with 3 layers. Another day of abuse! Now what I'm going to try and do is record some more layers, pan them left and right again, but I'll bring the pan in a little bit. So we're in terms of the stereo field, we're going to have like a wide variety of pitches of screams, from like in the middle all the way out to the far left and far right and everywhere in between. Another day of abuse! Another day of abuse! So here's a little bit of a trick for you. I can't remember who I learnt this from, but it's quite effective. What you can do on your lower screams, when you've got them panned left and right, on each track, add a pitch shifter and basically lower the pitch by like a semitone or even less than that on each side, and make sure each side's different, and then that slight difference, it also shifts it that bit lower as well, creates this really cool effect. Yes!
Run off and say of abuse! Run off and say of abuse! Run off and say of abuse! This is the life is trying to find that low note. And this is the only way I know how to do it.
So I'm going to do like a call and response there. So it goes, another day of abuse, another day of abuse. I'm going to try and hit a really high screen there, like.
Take control of your own life. See the truth with your own eyes. And move on with your life. And move on with your life.
And after over a week of writing, recording, and mixing all on the go, the song was finally finished. Which means it was time to move on to making some sort of video for the song to upload to the competition.
Right, song's done. Took a little bit longer than I thought it would, but we're here. I've got 5 days left, and I need to come up with some sort of idea for the video submission. Apparently you can do a music video or a live performance video, a lyric video, a playthrough video. I don't think it really matters as long as it's a video that showcases the song. And the last type of video that I made was a lyric video, so I don't really want to do another one of those again. As some of you may know, my artist name is Reverie, and it's a bit of a anonymous, well, it was anonymous until I told everyone that I'd made it. Let's go with Faceless. I released the first single without showing my face, so it'd be quite interesting to see if I could continue along that vein, maybe try and keep it a bit mysterious, if you know what I mean. And I don't think I have enough time to do a proper music video, especially seeing as I'm doing it on my own as well. I think that could be quite hard to get something pretty polished down. So I'm thinking some sort of playthrough video that's also along the same faceless, mysterious vibe. I think it's quite interesting. There's a couple of bands that do that sort of thing now, obviously Sleep Token being the biggest one. There's that new one, President, which is almost definitely Charlie Simpson. So I've got the iPad and we're gonna plan out my faceless, mysterious playthrough video. And it has to be good enough that it looks good, but quick enough that we can get it done in time to upload. So what are we gonna need for the video? We're gonna need location. We're also gonna need the shots and the angles that we're gonna do. We're also gonna need some props, if we need any props, like for example, my guitar, the microphone, any equipment that we're gonna need. I'm fancying quite a dark aesthetic, so I want to be able to control the light in the situation. So I'm thinking for the location, I'll literally just do it in my bedroom studio. So we'll go with that. Let's move on to the shots. So the main instruments for the song are obviously guitar, drums, bass, and vocals, just the same as any metal band. And most metal band videos, you know, they've got all that shit going on and it looks sick, but I don't have a drum kit, so I can't do that. And I don't actually own a bass guitar either, so I can't do that. So it looks like we're stuck with vocals and guitar. For each one of those instruments, I'm thinking maybe a couple of different shots. So the guitar is easy, so I'll have like a wide shot for the guitar, and I'll also have a close-up shot of the guitar. And then as the playthrough goes on, we can flip between a nice wide shot of the guitar and a nice close-up one. And then for the vocals, I'm gonna want the microphone there, so we'll just have like the main medium shot, so we'll go like medium shot. I feel like maybe we could just do one shot for the vocals, because I think trying to get like a close-up of like my mouth or something might be a bit weird. Turn all the lights off in the room, and then put a light above my head, facing down, and make it look all cool. And the last thing is props. So obviously we're gonna need the mic and the guitar. I'm thinking maybe I could just rip off Sleep Token and get some sort of mask or some sort of hood or something to cover my face up, because I'm feeling it. I'm feeling like channeling the cringe, you know? If it's done well, it looks really cool. Like it's quite an interesting vibe. So we're gonna shoot it in my bedroom in the dark with the lighting. We're gonna do vocals, guitar, and I'm gonna be dressed in a mask and a hood. Maybe like all black. I mean, it'll either work or it'll look absolutely ridiculous. So it's a win-win for you guys. It's me that looks like the complete knob. So the only thing I need is the outfit of just random dark vibes that will arrive in one day. Praise be to Jeff Bezos and his next day delivery. Oh, right. Let's have a look and see what's in this. So this is the unisex full cover hood mask elastic black breathable. I can already tell this video is going to be complete shit. Oh, no. Whoa. Oh, this is the hood thing. This looks fucking ridiculous. Oh, this is the hood with the mask cover thing. Can you tell who I am? Lastly, we've got the morph suit things. Let's give these a try. I got one black, one white, just to see what each one looks like. It's not big enough. My fucking massive head. The problem with this one is I can't see a fucking thing out of it. How am I meant to play the guitar if I can't even see? I can't even put the fucking outfit on because I can't see through the mask. Right, let's get the fucking cameras set up and do this thing. I'm absolutely boiling in this fucking outfit. Vocals are done, now it's time to move on to the guitars, and I'm gonna try the other mask on this. I'm really hoping that when I get it into fucking Premiere Pro to do the edit, I can make it look less shit than this. Oh, right. Let's just drop all the footage into Premiere Pro, and we'll have a do at editing this bad boy, see if we can get it looking sharp. I'm going to start off by dropping in the audio for the song. And now what we need to do is sync up the videos with the song. And I'm going to basically layer them on top of each other and then chop them to bits. So I'm using the audio from the camera to kind of match it up. God, I look like such a dickhead. Oh, dickhead. You can see the light in the picture. No. Right. I'm going to have to do a bit of jiggery pokery here. So I'm an idiot and I didn't... I'm not even joking when I say I couldn't see anything out of that mask. So the angle there, I've accidentally left the light in. So I'm going to have to like stretch the shot out until the light goes away. That's so annoying because I wanted to see the headstock. Right. We're just going to have to make do with what we've got, guys. We're just going to have to make do. Sometimes things don't go according to plan. That's okay. We'll work it out. Next thing we need to do is essentially edit each shot, put some lighting effects on them, make it look a little bit cooler. So we'll start with this one. I was thinking maybe we could do the whole thing as like black and white, old school retro effects and stuff like that, making it look a little bit creepy. So that's what the shot looks like without the monochrome effect, and that's what it looks like with. Now I'm going to copy that across to the next channel, which is this one. Oh, vibes. Vibes. Now what we're going to do is chop the footage so that we're panning to different camera angles as the song goes on. So what I normally like to do with that kind of thing is I will just chop on the beat between the different instruments depending on what's actually going on. So obviously the biggest instrument at the start is the drums, the guitar, and the bass. So we'll go on the guitar, and then there's a big scream. So I'll cut to the scream. So we'll do that now. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are literally just chopping on the beat. And so I continue to edit that video over the next few days, adding different effects, going as quick as I can so that I can upload it before the deadline. Oh, right, Jesus Christ, we've got 15 hours and 42 minutes left. Now all that's left to do is upload the video of my magnificent piece and win Ernie Ball's Battle of the Bands. Upload, make sure we're uploading it in the right format. How it works. Submission requirements. This contest is only open to bands or singer-songwriters who are legal residents of the 50 states. Legal residents of the United States. Oh, fuck off. And even though my plan didn't quite work out the way I thought it was going to, an editor from Spotify actually put this song on an official Spotify playlist called New Metal. So I was one step closer to achieving my goal. But I won't lie, I got lazy. I got lazy with the success. So in order to finish this album, I needed an extreme challenge. For the next 100 hours, I'm going to be locked inside this music studio. You see, I've been getting tons of comments asking me to make more music, but the problem is I'm a massive procrastinator. So to overcome this, I've created a challenge. Here are the rules. Rule 1, I have 100 hours to create the best song that I can, and once the timer is up, I have to release that song, whatever state it's in. Rule 2, I must remain in this studio, and I can't leave for any reason. And finally, rule number 3, if I do leave this room, I have to spin the Wheel of Death Metal. I'm sure we're going to find out what that does later on. I've got a feeling that this is going to be one of the toughest challenges I've done yet. And it starts now. So I'm going to start this off with an idea that I've had on the guitar, which goes something like this. I know what the song sounds like in my head, so I'm going to program some drums. This goes 1, 2, 3. So we're going to copy and paste the drum MIDI into the bass MIDI. And I'm going to delete everything except the kick. Down. Now I can delete the second half, copy and paste the first half. Oh no, damn that. Okay, let's listen to how this is sounding so far. What the fuck? Oh my god. Please don't die. What the fuck? So, it appears as though my laptop can't handle all of the programs that I'm running on it, and I just don't think it's going to be able to finish this song, like, because I haven't even started writing the song and it's already crashing. So there's only one way really that I can get around this, and I'm going to have to go and get my other computer, my PC, and move it into this room. But in order to do that, I have to leave the room, which means I'll have to spin the Wheel of Death Metal. I have to do this. There's no way out of this. So let's get it all set up, I guess. Okay, slight setback, but it's a new day. We've got the new computer set up, and I can finally start working on the song again. However, yesterday I did step foot out of this room to get all of the gear, so that only means one thing. I have to spin the Wheel of Doom. No, it's not even fucking called the Wheel of Doom, it's called the Wheel of Death Metal. The Wheel of Death Metal. So as you can see, I have a lovely wheel. Essentially, there are 6 options on this wheel. I definitely think the worst option on the wheel is an option called delete it, which means I would have to delete everything that I've been working on in whatever section I'm working on. So I'm going to spin this fucking wheel and then start working on whatever my forfeit is. So here we go. Lyric roulette. You might be wondering, Johnny, what is lyric roulette? Let me tell you. What I have to do is I have to find a random word generator online, and then generate one word. And then I have to include that word in the lyrics of this song somehow. So hopefully it won't be a shit lyric. I swear to God, if it gives me a word like pumpkin or something like pineapple. Don't know why I'm naming various fruits. Okay, fuck it. Let's see what word I end up with. So I found this random word generator. We're just going to generate a word, and then whatever that word is, I'm going to use it. Right, let's just do it. Hallowed. Now that's a good word. That's a good word. I'm just going to keep working on the song, and then once it's ready to put some vocals in, I've got to make sure to use the word hallowed. Maybe we'll see if we can find some sort of synth to lead on to the next section with. Bumped, gat, bumped, pskat. So basically what I just did there was I found the sample, then I wrote a drum pattern to the sample, and then I wrote a bass pattern to the drums and the sample together. Obviously the drums are exactly the same, just on repeat, but once the structure's there, I'll go back through the drums and make them a little bit more interesting and realistic. Okay, we're getting somewhere now. We've got a verse. We've also got round to the first chorus. I think the basic ideas are there, but it would be good to build upon these with extra layers. So that's what I'm going to do now. Immediately, I'm like, right, let's make some strings and choir maybe. La, 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 la. And with that, I was making pretty decent progress, but was it enough? So it's day 3 and we still have quite a lot left to do. We've just gone past halfway and I haven't even finished writing the instrumentals for the song yet. So I need to finish that. And then once that's done, I need to write and record the vocals as well. All in time to release the song by the end of it. But if I'm going to get this done, I need to get a move on. So that's exactly what I did, and I carried on writing all morning until I was finally there. The instrumentals are finished and it's time to move on to some vocals. However, before I can do that, I feel that I need to confess. I need to confess my sins because I actually had to leave the room. Basically, my mic stand broke and I needed to get a new one, so I got one ordered and I answered the front door, and now I have this boom arm thing. And of course this means I must spin the wheel of death metal again. So not only am I going to go into writing the vocals having one forfeit, there's a chance that I'm going to have another one even worse. So without further ado, let us spin the wheel of death metal. Massive keg. One of my most trusted musical companions and longtime friend, Mr. Tom, once laid down some wisdom like none I had ever received when I asked him, how can I make this section heavier? His words were, why don't you just smack a massive keg on the snare? So for this forfeit, I have to incorporate the sound of a gigantic metal keg being smashed into the song. Which, to be fair, isn't too bad considering some of the other options. I think I know the perfect place for this. The sound in question is this. Now obviously, that sounds very metal. And so far in this song, it's been pretty chill, you know? as far as things go, compared to some of the other songs I've written, I'd say this is a pretty chilled song. However, at the end of the song, we have a little bit of a breakdown. It starts off with an ambient break and then it drops and it sounds like this. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take that keg hit and I'm going to layer it on top of the snare. And then I need to blend in the volume of it, because it's going to be way too loud right now. Go to -10 and see how that sits. Oh, very nice. Maybe a little tiny bit more. Too far. We've gone too far now. We've gone too far. Oh yeah. And now we've just got to copy and paste that across every snare hit in the drop. Massive keg. And with that forfeit out the way, it was finally time to get some vocals down. So I've loaded up a new project. I've exported the song instrumentally. I've dropped it in this new one and I've set up some tracks ready to record some vocals. I'll play the song and then I will sort of hum melodies and different maybe rhythms over the top of the song until I find something that sticks, and then I will put words to that, because I've never really been good at doing it the other way around, so I'm just going to do what works for me. I always recommend doing vocals with some sort of pad that will allow you to write down the words. So I've got my pad, which allows me to write words, as you can see. And we're going to get stuck in. So you can probably hear in my voice, I've got all the effects on. Woo! Just so that I can hear my own voice in a way that doesn't sound like a dying cat. So you'll probably hear me doing that. I like to call it the la 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 method, where you just go la 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 and just fucking sing away like a tit. My speciality. La 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 la. That's quite cool, actually. But God, I am fucking shit at singing. Remember when we were young and hard. I quite like that heart there. Remember when we were young and hard. Oh yeah. And hard before it all fell apart. Never-ending road that parts before you even get a chance. It took away it. It took away this part. It took away this. It took away this. It took away this part of me. And now it feels it. Now I feel it's too late. And now I fear it's too late. It took away this part of me. Now I fear it's too late. Remember when we were young and hard, for all the mistakes. I carried on for a little while longer, and then I wrapped up for day 3, and it was time to move on to day 4. Verse 2, chorus 2, and maybe, I'm giving you the V's, a little screamy scream at the end. One day to do it all. Let's fucking do this, boys. I remember when it used to feel like in the I don't feel the way I used That is fucking ridiculous.
Feelings drift away from me. Every time I know I'm to inside my hollow
There's gonna be some fucking screams here. Let's remove all of the unwanted tracks. So we're gonna need a main, we're gonna need left and right double, we're gonna need a low. Embrace the darkness. Embrace the darkness. Feel existence fade away.
embrace the darkness.
Fuck me. My voice is fucked. Fuck me, I've written the whole song and I've not even put the hallowed word in. Well, it has to be here. I have to do it in the scream. Okay, embrace the darkness, feel existence fade away, hallowed. What about if we try this?
I am the hollow.
That sounds pretty good, actually. Jesus Christ. And I continued to make strange faces and strange noises until the song was finally finished and the time was up. 100 hours later, 2 spins of the wheel of death metal, and we finally made it. And I've really enjoyed the challenge. It's been rough, it's been quite difficult, but I've enjoyed it nonetheless. And I just wanted to say I appreciate you for watching the video if you've made it this far. And with that, I had 3 singles released, but if I was going to make a successful metal album, I was going to need more. But something was stopping me from going forward because I ended up having a bit of writer's block. So I came up with an idea to get me out of it. You see, every musician has a secret folder filled with abandoned songs. But what if there's a banger hidden away in there, just waiting to be transformed into a masterpiece? So today, I'm going to be testing 5 of the best abandoned songs that I can find to see if we can turn one into a hit. Starting with Large and In Charge. At least that's what the file's called anyway. Let's give it a listen. Okay. That's got a fucking bop to it, that. Written in 2018. We can definitely do something with this, 100%. But before I actually jump into writing this, I've realised something. I could 100% just sit here all day and rewrite that song. But obviously, I can't just sit all day and rewrite every single one of these songs. There has to be a better way to test the ideas to see if they are worth rewriting. So I've set up some rules. I'm going to give myself 1 hour per song to rewrite the riff into something that sounds better. And if I can't rewrite or improve the idea within an hour, I've got to delete it forever. So let's get large and in charge then, shall we? The main idea here is the so how can we take that and breathe some newness, some freshness into it? Maybe we could start off by popping the notes into the bass. Now we'll place the notes where they're meant to go. The change that we can make this time is instead of it going with like 2 notes per hit, what about if we just change it to 1 note instead? The original drum beat was kind of like... I'm thinking more of like a nu metal vibe. So like down, 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 down. Bit of a more like a swing to it, I think. You've got to be less like... And you've got to be more like loose with the sticks. The kick drums will probably go in the same place. And that's where the snare's going at the end. Cool, so that's where the kick and snare drums are going. Now we'll just have to put some crash. So before it was like kind of rigid. So the way that we put the swing feel onto it is with velocity. So if we start popping in the notes, that's kind of similar to what we had before. So every offbeat note is going to be slightly less in velocity. Bring them down. Okay, so now that we kind of got the feel of the riff again, the problem now lies in the actual melody line, the chord progression. It's not really giving me that nu metal vibe, so I'm going to actually change the notes. They've got the positions, we've got a drum beat to match, but now I'm going to change the notes. We are straying from the original demo, but it's all started from this idea that we had, which came from the demo, so that the DNA is still in there, even if we do change the chord progression. So what about if like a down, now, down, 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 down. So the lowest note there would need to be G sharp, but my guitar is tuned to A, so we'll bump everything up one. So now we're here. What about one more? Because that doesn't really flow nicely in my ears. So next up, we're going to track some guitars for this, and it's pretty straightforward where we're going with this, because nu metal is all about chunky power chords. How are we doing on time? We have got 42 minutes left. We're doing all right. Right, so now is where, obviously I'm a guitar player first, so it's kind of, I'm beginning to experiment now a little bit with the playing, so you could go something good. So you can start taking gaps out. So now we need to think of things to fill the gaps. So obviously in nu metal we like bit of fucking scratching, bit of noise. Oh yeah. What about did it and did it? That'd be quite cool. Let's try that. What about doing it an octave up and then having the lower octave on the left and the higher octave on the right? Normally, once I have a solid idea with the drums, bass and guitar is when I'll start to add in effects, synths, that kind of thing. And we've got 10 minutes left on this one, so let's see what kind of effects we can add into it. I tend to add some sort of shaker. Open up Splice inside the... Come on, Splice! I've got 5 minutes left! It's not working. That might do. Let's get that. There you go. So, that one was
squeaky.
We just managed to get some textures in before the timer went off. And I don't think it turned out too bad, actually. So let's give it a listen. Not bad for my first go. An hour is not long at all. I'm going to give this idea a solid 6. As the name states, the idea is large and in charge. It's quite different from the original demo. We essentially just kept the rhythm. We built the entire riff around that rhythm and ended up changing the chord progression and the chords anyway, which I don't think there's anything wrong with at the end of the day. It turned out really great, so not a bad first try. But this was just the beginning, because I had another 4 tracks to complete and many challenges to overcome.
No! Oh my god!
Oh my fucking god, are you fucking joking me? Knob off. Not the finest name I've ever given to a song. Let's give it a listen, shall we? See, now that is metal. There's nothing quite like getting your chug on and going gung 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 gung. Let's see if we can kind of recreate that riff. I kind of remember the drum beat just off the top of my head. Now we can kind of put the bass notes in because we know what the riff was. That's really cool. So I guess we'll kind of go back and figure out how I played that originally on the guitar. What the fuck? Can't remember as it says. That's going to take me a little while to nail. So what I'm going to do is track the guitars and just play the loop on repeat. Fuck me, that's hard to fucking play. Oh, my left hand. You would have thought it'd be the right hand because of all the down picking, but geez, my left hand. I am well out of practice with the guitar. And so I played, and played, and played, trying to track this fucking guitar part. Could I get a clean take? No. Until... I literally have no idea how it took me so long to take some guitar parts of a guitar part that I wrote literally only a year ago. Just remembering how to play it, and I guess I'm just out of practice, I guess. Now I actually need to change the song somewhat because this is basically just the same as what the demo was before. Oh my, you are taking the piss. Oh, for fuck's sake. I literally just spent an hour of my life recreating a riff that I had already written. I mean, I know I was struggling to get that riff. Jesus. Well, that only means one thing, really. I'm gonna have to delete it. Oh my god. I actually can't believe this. I actually can't believe that I ran out of time because I couldn't play a fucking riff. I absolutely cannot let that happen again. Right. I am calm. I've calmed. Let's move on to the next one. Ride and chill. Let's give it a whirl. Okay, I'm kind of getting like a shoegazy vibe from this. As you can tell, it's an ancient demo because it sounds like shit. 2017 again. I think we can definitely do something with this. Let's jump into the project. So obviously the intro was crap with the open hi-hats. The general idea of it is pretty straightforward though, so let's create a quick drum beat to get us started. So it's literally just a 2-note riff. It's doom, boom. So what I'm going to do now is, obviously that's very boring, and it was very boring in the original riff. So what we're going to try and do is give some sort of strumming pattern to the bass. So it's like dun dun jack jack dun jack. Now that we've got the main rhythm and the main bass and the notes that we're going to hit, we can add some basic guitar in, and then after that we'll work at altering the bass line, making things a little bit more interesting, but not too much, because the simplicity of the idea is the appeal of the idea. It's very easy to get behind. The other thing that you will find in shoegaze is you kind of had these kind of chords. So let's see if we can incorporate that into this. Right, so now that we've got the rhythm guitar in and the idea is starting to take a little bit of shape now, I'm going to add the lead line that was in the original, which I'm going to need a different guitar tone for. Cool, so we're actually sounding very similar to the original now already. So how can we change this a little bit more? Well, we can definitely introduce some differences in the bass. So next up, maybe we could try it in the shaker, which is something I normally do in metal, but do you know, I've not really tried it in this kind of shoegazy style, so I guess we'll try it out and see how I feel about it. So next, I'm going to put this cool haunting sample that I've been using for all the reverie stuff, which I'm absolutely in love with this sound. So what actually feels right for me now to progress this idea is adding a little bit of vocals to this demo, which is something I sometimes do, and it can help flesh out the full idea. A lot of the style of this kind of music comes from the sort of high filtered, lots of effects on the vocals and the melody lines that go in that. So let's add some vocals to this. I'll use some headphones for this. We've got 23 minutes. We're going to come up with some cool vocals. I'm going to stick a little bit of a light tuning on there, just so that when I listen back to my own voice, I don't want to quit. That's quite nice. As the light fades away, the colors disappear. Okay, so we actually finished that one early. I've got 10 minutes left on the timer, so let's give it a listen and then give it a rating out of 10. That's definitely an improvement from the demo, and it's kind of staying in line with the demo theme as well, which is something we didn't manage to do the first go around, but I think, you know, I'm pretty happy with this one, so I'm going to give this a 7. It's a respectable score. It's not really that complex, so it's not blowing my mind, but it sounds great. All the elements are there. It's a shame I have like 10 minutes left, so like it'd be great if I could take that 10 minutes and like add it onto the other songs, give me more time to create something super good. And that gave me an idea. I've actually thought of something quite interesting that I could do this next go around. So I've got 2 songs left, obviously each one being 1 hour long that I'm gonna have to make the song. But what if I write them back to back and then give myself 2 hours to write 2 songs, and if I finish one early, then that means I have more time for the second one. But then I guess what could end up happening is I might go overtime on the first one and not even finish the second one. But this is a music challenge after all, so 2 demos, 2 hours, back to back. Let's have it. Let's listen to the first one, which is World of Chugcraft. That's nice. Oh yeah. Okay, that's a pretty interesting idea. Let's just get stuck in. I've got a pretty cool idea what we could do with this one. To me, listening to it, it's quite a fast tempo, and I'm thinking maybe what would it sound like if we slowed it down a bit? Rebuild the drums and bass at the tempo that it was, and then we'll bring the tempo all the way back down. So let's do that now. So that is kind of the basic drum beat. And luckily for us, the note itself is one note. It's dum, 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 dum. Now we're going to reduce the tempo and see if we can turn it from more of like and slow it down a little bit and introduce more groove into this riff. Let's try tracking some guitars. Okay, so immediately after just playing some guitar along with that, not liking how that sounded. Why don't we try reducing the pitch? And instead of hitting single notes, I'm going to hit two notes. Da, da, da-gung, ga-dun, da-gung. So this is the texture layer on its own. And this is what we're sounding like all together. Maybe let's try a different drum pattern. Oh my god, my brain is hurting trying to write these drums. Okay, we've got... Oh my god, it's been 50 minutes. We've got 10 minutes left to finish this idea. Or I'm going to start eating into the time of the other song, which I'm not sure I want to do. But I'm really enjoying working on this idea, so... Maybe I do, maybe I don't. I don't know. I really, really, really want to finish off this idea. I've got 4 minutes left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a little bit of a scream drop into it, if that makes sense. I need to grab the headphones again. I'm going to go, just take a look at yourself.
Just take a look at yourself.
I added a pitch shifter on it. I knocked it down a semitone, and I knocked the pitch down one as well to get the scream to sit where I want it to be.
Just take a look at yourself.
How can I make this sound good? What would... Ooh, we're 3 minutes over. This was a bad idea, combining the two, because I was hoping that I would finish the first one really quick and have loads of time to do the second one, but I've gone over the hour with the first one. Now I'm under pressure. I've got 55 minutes left. Let's give a listen to the final demo. This is an old one from 2017. The bit that I really like is this bit at the start, which is like... So we can definitely do something with that. So let's get stuck into Betraying the Mustard. The pattern. And now, I've had an idea with this one. It's going to be quite interesting because I want to keep that... But what I'm going to do is, instead of starting that idea on the bar, I'm going to knock it one beat later on. So that's my idea. I'm going to shift everything that half beat forward. Let's try and write a drum beat to this. Maybe like that fast. Okay, how's this? Now, let's make a little bit of a change to the melody, because I'm not really feeling it. This is interesting. So now, the way that I've kind of written this, it's kind of almost like a verse. Right, that's pretty cool right now. So I think it's ready to put some guitars in. Where's the pick? Oh, it's there. Okay. It's very like Genty, Tesseract, Periphery vibes. We've got the shakers in, we've got the ambience. Let's find a nice little sample to put over the top. Right, let's track some screams over these. Okay.
It was all in my head.
Oh my god, how long we got? 9 minutes. Jeez. I have a really fucking good idea. No, how long do I have? 6 minutes? I need to track this. I've never switched things on so fast. That'll have to do. What are we on now? Oh my god, what have I got? 2 minutes! 2 minutes! Oh my god. I can do this. No! Oh my god, Cubase just crashed! No! What the fuck? No! Oh my fucking god, are you fucking joking me? Are you actually joking me? Please, please, please. I'm hoping this is it. There's a backup. I didn't save it. Oh my god. How did I not save that? Oh, I'm actually livid. I'm on fire right now. If I can get back what I had, that will be enough. Oh, fuck off. Yeah, we know. I'm giving myself a little bit of an extension to see if I can get the project back up. Luckily, I've managed to recover the project. Good God. Apart from the actual anxiety that I just lost this entire project. That was tough. Let's have a listen to them, I guess. It was going to be even better because I had a bit that extended on the end of that, but obviously Cubase decided that it wasn't good enough and deleted it for me without me even needing to ask. So I'm going to give this an 8, which leaves only one song left to review. Let's listen to World of Chugcraft.
Just take a look at you.
I do love a jivey bop, and even though it's quite simple, it does everything for me rhythmically, you know? It tickles my balls. I'm going to score this highly. I think I'm going to score this a 9. And with that, the winner is decided. And now that my writer's block had been cured, I went on a crazy writing streak and created some of the best songs on the album. But even though a lot of the songs were finished, I wanted to make sure that I could give them the best vocal performance that I possibly could. So I set myself a challenge. 7 days ago, I decided I was going to try and learn the world's most extreme vocal techniques. Working through crazy tutorials. Oh my god. Embarrassing practice routines. Even getting the advice of a professional vocal coach.
The short answer is stop caring and just do it.
All because at the end of this week, I have to track some vocals and I want to give the best performance that I've ever given. Now, that all sounds easy enough, but it didn't quite start off that way. I think a good place to start would be to kind of see where I'm up to now. You know, I'm self-taught, I've just kind of winged it at this point. Let's see what I can do right now.
You know it's time to speak your mind. I'm sick of all the bullshit. Time to grow a fucking backbone. Say what's inside. It's time to not give a fuck. Have a bit of self-respect for once in your life. Just keep your fucking mouth shut. Fuck you, no more backing down. Inside the silence that's in my head.
Oh, I'm not used to singing back-to-back lines. As you can see, I'm out of breath. Jesus. Normally, when I take stuff and when I write stuff, I'll do it line by line, so then it's super easy. But when you've got to sing all the lines one after the other, that's a totally different thing altogether. I couldn't hit what I wanted to hit. Looks like I've got some work to do then, I think. And that was an understatement, because I knew something wasn't right, so I had to go back to the beginning. It's apparent that I've got some things I need to work on. Even just singing a little bit right there has kind of made my throat a bit sore, and I'm not entirely sure if that's meant to happen or if there's a way I can avoid doing that. The other thing was I couldn't string together multiple screams in a row without kind of fucking up, basically. I think we're going to have to go back to the very basics and learn just how to do this properly. So I went to the most reliable place for information on the internet. I'm having a look on Reddit to see if I can find the best way to get started. It says here that there's some good resources, some good YouTube channels. So I kind of think like the natural step for me now is to check out some of these tutorials and see if I can find one and have a go at that. Start out with the fundamentals, practice those, make sure I'm doing it right, and then build up to where I'm trying to be. Let's get stuck in. Now, when you're talking about vocals, almost everybody says the first thing you got to do is warm up properly. So I'm going to follow this guide from Will Ramos and learn how to warm up for extreme vocals. Okay. So he's doing some like lip trills and he's moving his voice up and down his range into the highest and to the lowest, up and down. Let's give that a go then, I guess. I can't even get the fucking... Okay. Okay, that was a little bit better. What's next?
All right.
Okay.
Do that for a couple minutes just to get nice vocal.
What's he going to do with this straw?
Next,
Okay.
we're going 30 seconds. Nice and slow. Not too fast, not too slow. We'll do that.
Okay. So it looks like he's blowing through a straw for 30 seconds. Okay. Well, I don't have a straw, so I can't practice this one. But okay, fair enough. What's next?
Going to go straight into this where you do the same exact
Okay.
thing. But with
He's
a
got
little
the
bit more
straw into a drink. Okay, so if you actually listen, he's doing the trill, but just through the straw into water. So he's going, but like into water through a straw. I do really want to try this out with the straw.
size. Ooh.
Size. Okay. He makes it look so easy. Okay, I think my voice is pretty warmed up now, so let's move on to actually learning how to achieve the scream sound properly.
Hey, Chris Lipe here. In this video, we are working on how to sing aggressively, screaming, shouting, adding distortion to our voice without trashing our voice.
Yes, Chris.
So we can come alive!
I don't know about you guys, but I'm ready to come alive.
And all of the problems that come about when someone's trying to figure out how to sing in these ways
Yeah.
really stem from one issue.
Yes. Chris, tell me the issue.
We are looking out at someone we like, a vocal sound that we like, who is singing intensely, and we're making assumptions about how things should feel in our own voice without really knowing anything based on what we hear them doing.
That is exactly what I'm doing. I'm copying what I liked the sound of, and I'm trying to replicate that voice. That's where I'm going wrong.
I'm going to make a lot of goofy noises. You should too.
Oh, I'm so ready. I'm so ready to make goofy noises for you, Chris.
This is a process of self-discovery for you, for anybody watching these videos. If you're not willing to make stupid noises and make a fool of yourself, you are not going to be able to do this. The first thing we want to do is become intimately aware of how our break works. Stay
Break?
with me. This is important.
What's a break?
The break.
Right, I have to try this. Honestly, I just can't stop laughing at myself. It's actually very hard to get. There it is. There's my break. Can you hear that in my voice? It's starting to break. Oh my god. Okay, I've learned how to break my voice. Step 1, break your voice.
The next thing I want to dive into and experiment with is my vocal fry.
Vocal fry.
And fry.
So vocal fry is something that I've heard of before. It's like basically the first thing anybody ever talks about when they talk about screaming.
That's vocal fry. You can discover that when you...
Fries. I'll take a side of fries. The sound that you get when you do this with your voice.
We're going to harness and live in the middle of that while we use just the right pressure from our support muscles.
Okay. See, now this is going to be the hardest part, is actually controlling that zone.
Once I find that little break point and then add fry to it.
I'll try hitting the break first and then adding the fry to it. So fry, and then you've got there you go. I've got the fry with the thing. I think that was it.
As I start adding pressure down here, it starts to become more consistently broken up.
Oh, we're getting somewhere now, Chris. Let me try that. Oh my god! It fucking worked! Yeah! I think I got it.
There it is, right?
There it is, Chris.
I'm not actually singing that
There
loud.
it is. I think I've got a pretty good handle on what he's getting across there. Let's see if there's any other...
Hey, Chris Lipe here with special guest Will Ramos.
What's going on?
See, now that's I so want to learn how to do that. I want to learn how to do that fucking demon scream.
For me, when it comes to doing growls, there's 3 steps. I start out very simply, and it almost sounds like I would describe it as like a very bad scream, because it's I'm not really trying too hard. Sigh into it.
Let's try that. No, see, I'm constricting too much there. See, I run out of breath. How do you not run out of breath?
Right?
Just like try and think about it as if like when you're doing that, yes, you are doing that constriction, but you're also, because normally when you sigh, you just let out all the air. But you're constricting it, and you're almost adding that little, whatever everybody has their own word for it to be, pushing downwards on your
use
diaphragm.
your poop muscles.
Your poop muscles, exactly.
Poop muscles, boys. I think I found it.
Yes, there it is. Found it.
You know, a big thing that people do and what messes them up, and I mean, obviously we can go more into depth with this later.
Yeah.
You push too hard, and that is what will absolutely destroy you.
See, now that's what actually really hurt me before, was that I think when I was practicing, I pushed too hard. See, if you notice this about him, so they've not talked about it, but looking at Will's lips, the shape that he makes also has so much effect on how it sounds. Like he's... Just the shape of my mouth is affecting the scream so much, which is something I've just noticed from watching.
And then step 3 is moving the mouth around, right?
Step 3.
I fucking called it! I've definitely realised where I'm going a bit wrong with what I've been doing before, and I've got some stuff to work on now. But just because I know what I need to work on now doesn't mean that I can now scream the way I want to, so I needed to come up with an idea. Honestly, that tutorial was really helpful. Now I feel like I can access the sound that I'm trying to get to the right way, if that makes sense. But the problem is I'm very inconsistent with it. Sometimes I'll try and achieve a certain sound, and then I'll try and do it again and again, and then all 3 times could be completely different sounding. So in my mind, that's just a practice thing, and I've still got a couple of days left to practice, so I'm hoping that that will be enough time to really gain better control over my voice. And I think the best way to do that would be to create some sort of practice routine. So that's exactly what I did. And I created the ultimate extreme, what was it called? The ultimate extreme practice guide for large vocals. Step 1, find a safe location. Not only have I come to an empty car park, But I've got myself a drink and a straw. This'll probably do.
Because it's important for you to feel comfortable when you are screaming and making strange noises. Step 2, warm up.
Oh my god. Oh shit, it's going everywhere.
Step 3, vocal exercises. Because you know what they say, practice makes perfect.
Yes, the vocal fry. Put them together. That was good. I was pushing with my poop muscles.
And finally, step 4, put it all together.
Let's try throwing all that together. I need some words. Let's go with, I'm sitting in the car park screaming like a tit.
I'm sitting in the car park screaming like a tit.
But after a couple of days of practice, I encountered a problem.
I think that maybe I've got a little bit too hard on my voice in the practice sessions. I'm worried that if I keep practicing at the intensity that I am doing, that I'll lose my voice even more and then I won't be able to do the takes at the end of the week. I think I'm gonna have to rest it for a bit, but I just wish there was something I could do to keep improving my vocals. Something that doesn't require me to like scream my head off.
And just when I thought all hope was lost, I had an idea to help me improve my vocals that didn't require me to sing. Chris Lipe, I'm in need of your help, dearly.
All right.
For the past 7 days, I've been attempting to learn the world's most extreme vocals, and your video tutorial from YouTube has been a huge help for me. I've been following that along, but I'm still facing some issues, and I think you're the man to tell me what I'm doing wrong.
Okay.
The first thing, and I think this is going to be one that's very common for most people, is how do I get over the embarrassment factor? How do I get over the fear and the nervousness that I feel when I have to make these strange noises?
So I can answer that by telling you a short story of how I got over it. I spent part of my college career in a very small community dorm area that I didn't even have my own bathroom. So we got to know everybody on the floor pretty well. But I, being a music major and doing stuff with my voice, I had to practice. I had to be doing this stuff. And I went around to people on that floor. I knocked on their door. I invited them into the hall. I said, you may be hearing me do some interesting and maybe scary sounds if you're not quite sure what I'm doing. So I'm just telling you now, I'm not killing people or animals. I'm practicing. Yeah. And I have to do this for school. And then I started leaving my door open when I was doing recording projects. And I would get a little bit of an audience out there, people outside my door, and they would come just listen to me for a few minutes, this kind of revolving door passing thing. And it became an opportunity for me to share my journey with people. And that occurrence planted seeds for now what I do on YouTube and why I don't care. I don't care what people think. Fast forward just a little bit. I moved into an apartment with my now wife, and I didn't have that community of the dorm. I just had people living above me and living around me and everything. And I had to do a similar thing. It wasn't quite as cool, but I had to contact my neighbors and say, look, I'm a musician. I record. I do this style of music. Perhaps you've heard some of these artists. I'm going to be respectful, and I'm only going to do this, in the middle of the day.
Yeah. So the takeaway is that you want to try and approach people that may or may not hear you when you're trying to practice and do these things, and just be upfront with them before you even get started, basically.
Yeah. And a big part of that is, of course, transparency and being upfront. but also the willingness to be heard in that state and not care. I've put myself in so many of those situations deliberately, and that helps me perform. It helps me film my YouTube videos because I am okay with people hearing me in that horrible intermediary state. I don't think anybody doing or wanting to do harsh vocals or expand their range or, whatever the thing is for whatever the goal is, if you're not willing to have people hear you while you're sounding dumb, you're going to be too afraid, even when you think you've gotten the techniques down, you're going to be too afraid to really commit in a performance or recording environment because you don't want to screw up. By getting that out of the way and just say, I'm going to screw up. I'm going to screw up constantly. It doesn't matter. Even if you're doing a live performance, if you don't care that the audience hears you crack unintentionally, you probably are going to have a much less chance of cracking. It's the psychology of it. So the short answer is stop caring and just do it.
Yeah, I totally.
But the longer
agree.
answer, I think, is more helpful.
At the moment, I'm still experiencing some pain afterwards whenever I'm practicing the screaming techniques. Is that normal, or should I be experiencing no pain?
Great questions. Is it pain or is it heat? Is it discomfort or is it actual pain?
It's an interesting one. I would say it's similar to like a sore throat sensation at the end, But I'm assuming that if you were to go on stage and sing a set for 45 minutes, you'd probably have a sore throat at the end of that, right?
If I'm doing, and I do that for a little while, I don't feel, it's not painful, but it is abrasive. Now, if I do this with my fingernails and I scratch my arm like this for 45 minutes without changing, I probably will have some pain.
Yeah.
Right? Because it is, these techniques, even when done correctly, there is an element of them being engaging. They have the potential to be abrasive. I mean, we're moving air, we're creating resistance. And so you are going to feel sensations, and none of these sounds, you look at Will, you look at Andy, you look at some of these guys that do it and tour regularly and sing, 2-hour sets or whatever. It's not that they don't feel anything, and it's not that they don't have to rest and recover and budget.
So what would you say is the number one thing that people get wrong when they approach extreme vocals?
This is a great question. Lots of people don't like the answer. Ready? The number one thing that people get wrong when they approach extreme vocals is they try to go straight there without learning how to sing first.
Learning how to sing. So not necessarily scream, more actually sing.
No, you should learn how to sing at the same time or first. It should be a pair. Because there's so many things that you learn about how the fundamental things of support and learning how to place your voice dynamically and resonate. All singing or screaming is, at the base level, is moving and manipulating air, right? That's all it is. And we have so many different structures in our bodies that help us treat that air differently to get certain types of sounds. And when you're learning how to screaming and growling and all these different sounds, they shouldn't take as much effort as a lot of people think, which is the same as singing. You should be able to sing and make some of these harsh vocalizations with next to no effort on one level. That doesn't mean that you don't ever get really amped up and make loud, cool sounds. It means that you shouldn't have to introduce all this energy just to get
To achieve it.
that.
Yep.
Yeah, just to achieve it. And when I work with people that are trying to do harsh vocals without having the fundamentals of actual singing, there is so much that they don't know about how to resonate. That's really the key. So learn how to support your voice in the right way. If you learn how to do this stuff with something that's already not abrasive, speaking. Let's get in touch with your speaking voice. Let's go from speaking to musical singing. Let's do that. Let's go on that journey. Once we've gotten to that point, if your goal is to use distorted singing and screaming techniques, then then we lay that on top of the foundation.
People want to just jump straight to the end instead of walking the path and building from the beginning. Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it, Chris. You know, I'm just I just wanted to create some music. I wanted to achieve the sound that I love, and I jumped straight into it. And I could feel things went right. It makes so much sense. It's like learning any skill. You have to start from the beginning and build yourself up.
Yeah.
Chris, this has been absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you, man. Thank you.
You're so welcome. Good luck and keep me posted.
The day is finally upon us. It's finally time to get some scream vocals down. Even if it's just by a small margin, I think I've gained a little bit of control. The past couple of days I've just been kind of speaking, doing no vocal exercises, so I feel quite rested now. By the time this video comes out, the song will also be out, so I'll leave a link in the description below to the song if you want to check it out. But let's get into it.
Will we be okay?
In the sadness, I'll destroy everything that you know. In your devastation, you become a hollow shell.
And once I'd finished recording the vocals for that one, I released it, and that was the last single before the whole album dropped. But before I could drop my album and see if I could achieve my goal of 100,000 streams, there were a few problems that I needed to overcome. And do you know what I think is absolutely crazy? 500 days ago, I made a decision to risk everything and chase my dream of writing and releasing my own metal album. I faced some of the hardest challenges along the way. No! Oh my god, Cubase just crashed! Oh, please don't die. What the f? But now there are only 5 things left to do before I can release this album and see if I can reach my goal of 100,000 streams. And in this video, we're going to finish them, starting with... So in the first song on the album, I have this gap. It's kind of the build-up to a breakdown, and it sounds like this.
Wake up, everything is the same. There's only one way out. Pain and suffering.
I want something to bridge the gap between the first hit of the breakdown and when it comes back in. And I thought, what better way to do that than to create my own sample? Now, when it comes to creating dirty samples, there's always one man I can count on. And so I went to see my friend and fellow musician Tom to see if we could figure out just what kind of noise needs to fill the gap. Right.
It's Paddington Bear.
Right, so
What's happening?
we need to fill the gap.
Okay. Say no more.
I've decided to create my own sample
Yep.
to fill said gap. What are we thinking? Something industrial. Ooh. Oh yeah. Lovely stuff.
Industrial.
Right, your mic's on.
Yeah.
Fully equipped. Give me some of that good fanage.
What else have we got?
Lovely. Oh, I've got an idea.
Okay. Right. What do we think? Do we think we've captured the essence of what we're going for? I don't think so. I think we're I think it's missing something. One final sample that will do the job.
Make sure there's lots of bubbles in it. This is for the cause, this. I'm gonna fall in this thing. Right. Let's get these samples off the laptop. It's time to fill the gap. At first I thought I just need one sample to fill this gap. Obviously the main one that I wanted to try and use was the bath sample. But seeing as we got so many interesting sounds recorded, I'm thinking maybe we can combine some of them, see if we can make it sound more interesting that way. So I got to work playing with the samples, adding different effects, and this is what I came up with. So this is what we've come up with using all of the samples, I think. It's what we had before. And this is what we have now. And with the first job completed, it was time to move on to the next one, but I had no idea what was going to be in store for me. So the next item on the list for the album is a super important one. I need to write the last breakdown for the whole album. Obviously, this is a modern metalcore album. It's quite melodic, but there's also quite a lot of heavy sections in it. So we've got to make sure that it's an absolute face melter of a breakdown. So in order to make sure it absolutely slaps, I'm going to split this breakdown into my 3-part formula for girthy segments. There's a 50% chance that if you use this method, you'll achieve a massive breakdown 100% of the time. Step number 1, the rhythm. First up, we have drums. Next, we need to add some bass to that. And finally, guitars. Moving on to step 2, we have the screams. Because no breakdown is truly complete without a bit of... Don't forget to add the layers in. We want highs, mediums, and lows. And we'll pan them across the spectrum to get a complete and rich sound. And finally, step number 3. And of course, the final step is the icing on the cake. Special effects. Effects for the breakdown. We're gonna need a bass drop, a reverse snare, maybe even a little bit of shaker. And finally, the creme de la creme, layers. Hey up, Mr. Tom sent us a message.
Hey up, I've got another sample for you. Get this in your breakdown.
Another sample. Right, go on, let's have a listen to this. Right, okay. I can make this work. Okay, so this is what we've got now. And I'm going to layer that on top of every snare in the breakdown. And once you've added all those effects in, it'll sound like this. Tell you what, we're on a roll. Task number 2 is done. On to the next one.
So the next thing on the list is we need to create the album cover. Now, for the 5 songs that I've already released as singles, I actually drew those album covers myself already. And I'm gonna do the same for the final album cover. And I need to come up with a really good idea for it. The album is called I Killed the Old Me. So whatever I end up drawing has to kind of embody that in some way. Now, if you look at some of the other artworks that I've done, I've kind of kept it black and white with little red highlights here and there. Obviously, there's a girl that's consistent through all the artwork, and what I was trying to go for was each cover is her facing one of her demons and the whole song and what it's about. So basically, I need to come up with an album cover that summarizes the whole album and really gets the message across. Or maybe I'm just putting too much thought into this, like a tit, and maybe I should just draw something that looks cool. And I've had a little bit of a think about what I'm going to do for this one, and I think I've got a pretty good idea. I'm kind of seeing some sort of door, and stood in the doorway is the girl, as if she's walking away from you and she's walking through the door into this new chapter. Now, behind her is obviously going to symbolize something about the old version of her and how she's walking away from it. So I'm thinking perhaps we could put like an arm or a hand or a head or something laid on the floor to symbolize like that she's killed the old me or whatever. Perhaps I'll try and have her sort of half turned looking back. Maybe in the doorway she could be holding like a knife and I could do it like a silhouette. I wanted the album cover to mean something. I wanted it to work in
harmony with the music, with the topics of the songs, because at the end of the day, this is like my baby, this project. It's my artistic vision. So I'd quite like to keep the black and white theme. Maybe there could be like a trail of blood that leads towards the old version of herself, and those can be the red highlights. But honestly, you don't really know what you're going to draw until you kind of get stuck into it and spend a few hours sketching and working on the artwork, and then it just kind of all comes together. So the next thing that we need to do is actually something that I've been putting off for quite a while. I need to track the vocals for the last song on the album. Now, I actually tried to do this a while ago, and I literally just couldn't do it. To be honest, I was struggling to get the words out without choking up. I guess maybe it's just an emotional song for me. Maybe the lyrics hit hard. I don't know, but we're gonna give it another try today. So let's give it a go. Not sure how I'm feeling about it, but there's only one way to find out. I don't know why I turned so cold. I know I'm not the sun. I'm sorry, but I had to change. I couldn't deal with the pain inside. I guess I'm just finding it quite difficult to sing lyrics on this last one. I started writing this album in 2023 when I was going through one of the hardest things I've ever had to go through in my life. Each song has been its own little way of me putting down in words what I've been feeling. And I don't know what's happening to me, but trying to track this last one, I just can't seem to get the words out without choking, really. Because music's never been just about the music for me. It's always been about expressing how I feel. 500 days I've been writing this album. I'm a totally different person now than I was back then. When I started writing, I was definitely a lot angrier back then. And now I'm on the last track. But I think I just need to dig deep and finish this last one and bring the entire album to a close. I need to get it done. I'm going to finish strong. I'm going to get the album out there and do myself proud, because it's been a lot of work. Sometimes you just need a minute to step away and think about things. Well, I've completed 4 out of 5 jobs that I have to do. It's been one hell of a journey, but we're finally coming to the end of it, and I've only got one thing left to do, which is the final test. I've always loved music and metal music, and I set myself this challenge because I knew that inside me there was an album that needed to be written. And now it's time to share that with the people that I care about and hear some feedback. Hopefully they like it, so that I can take it on board, make any last minute changes that are necessary, and release the album. Right, so Hassan doesn't want to listen to all the songs. He just wants to listen to sections of the songs. I never said that.
Hassan isn't a supporter of his dreams. please like and subscribe to remove Hassan from the friendship.
So I'm going to show you some songs, the final 5 songs on the album.
Okay.
I'll start with the first song on the album. Song 1. There's a breakdown coming, and I've sampled Tom's house in it. items from Tom's house are in this song.
Like a pot.
Yeah. So there's a can of Monster being cracked. Tom's microwave going off. Me in a bath going. I'll show you another heavy one.
Okay.
I hear the voices inside my
Yeah, I mean, like, I really like the intro. I was like,
Oh, it's fucking like.
got me from the
Your
beginning.
cleans have come a long way.
Oh, right. The last song on the album is the most emotional song.
Oh, yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I know that we have grown apart. You'll always have a place in my heart.
That's a global scream.
Oh yeah.
Fucking hell.
That was good.
No,
That 2 years wrapped up in a song.
That's it, mate.
That was like that one hit different to me. I don't know whether it's
Yeah.
because like I know you and stuff like that, but
the lyrical content, especially if you know the context, is pretty heavy.
If you know, you know. Every musician was born through heartbreak.
Indeed.
no. That was really good.
bitch.
She's out, released to the world, 500 days, and I finally finished it. I just wanted to take a second to thank all of you guys for watching the videos and following the journey. I've had so much fun making these videos, and the response from you guys has been so insane. So yeah, the album's out. If you want to have a listen to it, then I'll leave a link to it in the description below. But finally, the only thing left to do is see how many streams we got, see if we hit the target. Okay, let's have a look. Looking at my Spotify for Artists page, we've had 96,000 streams. Jesus Christ. That's absolutely mad. I was aiming for 100,000, just a complete shot in the dark, and I pretty much hit that, and it's all thanks to you guys for listening to the tunes. I still can't get over that. Like, that's so much. If you made it to the end of this video, then you are a real one, because this was an absolute crazy video. And I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you following the journey and watching the video. I'm definitely going to be making and releasing more Reverie music and projects. And I thought I'd let you know as well, like, I don't normally like telling people about merch and stuff. I'd rather people just get it if they enjoy the music or if they want to support it, but there's no pressure. But I thought I'd at least let you know that the designs that I made for the first album, I'm definitely going to be taking those down at some point this year, probably towards the end of March, April, because that's when I'm going to start releasing new music. So if you did want to get one of the designs from the first ever Reverie album, then they're available now, but they won't be available forever. So once again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.